Hello, welcome. Erin here. I am working with the Exploring Nature collection today, and if you caught my last video, I am giving these a makeover to work for my photos. So we did this layout last week, and I'm working on this one here so you can see it's got lots of photos and lots of fun elements there. So I've got the background papers. These are exclusive to the workshop, so I am going to use those. And then I popped out all of the little bits and pieces for that they're showing included on here. But my photos are different. So they've got 6 photos. I actually have 7 photos and they're in a different orientation. So this is from my Alaska vacation, and this was the most peaceful, magical little lakefront cabin. I'll tell you more about the details as we go through the video, but we took a stroll from the cabins down the train tracks, and it was just really pretty. There was a river. We walked along the lake and just some really pretty little shots there. So let's go ahead, and if you look at this one, the guide tells you exactly what you need to do, make cuts and everything, but I'm going to change it up. So they've got this darker background paper against this one. Whoops. I did a little pre-planning with this layout and decided that I didn't really like the dark on dark. It's not enough contrast. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I think the layout looks great, but for my photos, I wanted more of a contrast between the layers. And plus, I wanted to use the other side of this paper. So I have decided to bring in some cloud cover backgrounds here. So these are 10.5 square, and that way we can see that same frame style layout concept, but we've got a lighter pop of color for the background. And then in the they have cloud cover running across the bottom, and obviously that's not going to work because I swapped out the cloud cover cardstock. So now I can use these papers, which is what I cut off the bottom of this one. I love this paper and I think it's so pretty. When you bring in the elements of nature, you can just see how it represents all of the colors from the trees and everything in the background there. I think it's really, really pretty. So we're kind of keeping the same concept. I am going to run these across the bottom. I did make them wider. They are, or taller. They are 5 inches, no, 5.25 inches by 12. So those will go across just like, we're keeping the same dimensions of everything, but now we're going to switch it up with the photos. So you can take a closer look there, and then I will show you how I want to arrange my pictures. I do have a couple pictures that are directional, which will help me quickly place them, like this one here. I'm looking into the layout, so that'll go over on the left, and then we have some scenery shots here. And I'm thinking this one, we're kind of in that outer right-hand corner looking in, so that'll go on the right. And then we'll make a column with these two like that. I think that's going to work quite nicely. Now, if we bring in these bits and pieces, they have used this for the journaling block and they've placed it on the page with the title, kind of like this. Let me bring in the layout design so you can kind of see how they have that there. Again, I brought in one more photo, but I have this spot over here that I think will work quite nicely. It's a big spot and we need to fill it. So what if we move the journaling block? We could go either direction there. And then now we kind of have this spot to address where we don't want to trap space. So what if we kind of group these like that, bring this one down, and now we have this perfect little stair step that title hugs like it was made to go there, right? So I like that. And now we have embellishing potential up top. These pine tree punch outs are quite nice. There's a cluster of 3 and then a set of 2 here. So I kind of want to bring some of these down to the bottom rather than have all the pine trees at the top. So what if we put, let's see, I think this one will fit here nicely. I don't care that I'm covering the corner of the photo. There's nothing interesting there anyway. And then we have a bit more space up on this right-hand side so we could put our trio of trees there. See how that creates like that diagonal line? I think that just looks more interesting rather than having them both at the top. And then I do have this sticker here with the pine tree. It's like a border. They have used it. Now there's only one on the sticker sheet, but I happen to have I got 2 sticker sheets because I bought the workshop and a paper pack with the sticker sheet. So I do have an extra and can run this all the way across. If you don't have to, you could perhaps just use some dark Mossy Meadow cardstock for the same effect. Let's see what else we have to work with. They have used this one here that says outdoor fun, and I like it, but I also pulled this green sticker that says take the road less traveled. And since we have green in the pine trees and the other two clusters, I thought this would bring that green in since we don't have a third cluster of pine trees. And this says taking the scenic route, which I think applies to just about anywhere in Alaska. So I'm going to put my journaling here. This background is crumb cake. I just want to see what crumb cake looks like. Yeah, that's good. So let's go ahead and bring in some crumb cake to mat the photos just for a little extra something to separate the white from the cloud cover. I wanted a little bit more definition. I think the brown tones kind of warm it up just a bit too, and it brings in the color from the journaling block. So for these two photos, I'm matting them together on one piece. Now my upper photo is not quite a 4x6, it's a little shorter. So just cut your photo mat to fit depending on your photo size. You might be using a 4x6. And now I am ready to adhere these down. So these little cabins where we stayed for just a few nights are called Renfro's Lakeside Retreat Cabins. And it was love at first sight. We each had our own little cabin. They're kind of like a tiny house. And when you sit on the porch, you were looking out over the lake. The lake was like right there. I could throw a rock and hit it. So, great place to have your coffee and just listen to the sounds of nature. Inside, there was a spiral staircase that you walk up to the sleeping area. There was just one master bed up there. And it too had a window where you could look out from in bed over the lake. So it was really beautiful. They did say there was a resident bear that came through quite a bit, but we did not see him come through. So we were on the lookout for him, but he didn't make an appearance. But really, really cool place. And my husband, of course, was examining the cabin at great length because he then went down a rabbit hole of looking at cabin kits that you could purchase and put together yourself because he thought it would be a great idea to bring this little slice of heaven home and set one up on our property somewhere at home. So I've got these pine cones and sprigs I pulled from my stash. This is from the Delightful Pines. And at the time of filming this, the die set is still available. So you have a little layering pine cone, which I cut from crumb cake is the base and pecan pie is the top. And then the sprigs are mossy meadow. We've got this open spot here. We need to dress this up. So I thought the little pine cones would be a nice little nature element here. And we'll just tuck some sprigs in. And that is coming together quite nicely. These pine cones are so cute. Now I feel like I need to add the pecan pie color elsewhere. Plus, I feel like these trees need a little bit of anchoring, just a little something under there. I mean, they're kind of anchored because they're attached to the photo and the title. But let's just place these little pine cones around and see what we can come up with. I do want something over here. I think we need just like a mini embellishment cluster in this area here. We don't have a lot of room to work with, so I think that these will fit quite nicely. I have this little arrow set that has become a go-to embellishment for me. This is called the Endless Love Dies. It's a Valentine's set, but there's a large arrow and a set of two smaller arrows. And I think it's just such a great little shape, especially for hiking, outdoorsy type pages, masculine pages. You can use the arrows for so much. So I cut a few of those from pecan pie, and this one, the larger arrow, fits quite nicely right there. And then we want to repeat that element elsewhere. So we can use these two smaller arrows to, well, that's a big one. Let's switch it out for the small one here. I think that maybe was just a bit too big there. Yeah, I like the small one. That fits quite nicely. And we could put this one over here, kind of pointing in. I like that. And then we've got one more. We don't have to use it. We'll put it there for now. I have this exploring nature. It says not lost, just exploring. And I think this will look really nice in the space up here above my photo. So let's go ahead and peel this gently off of the carrier sheet. I am loving this stamp set for outdoor and travel type pages. It is perfect. You can always place it on your layout and that way you see, get a visual kind of a feel for what it looks like. And I say, let's go for it. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Positioner and stamp this right on the background, risk-free. The background paper on the frame is Secret C, and I was thinking about using like early espresso ink because it's nice and dark, but I think we'll stick with the color palette and go with Secret C. So using the grid lines on my Stampin' Positioner, I can make sure that is straight. Touch down to the stamp, pick it up, and now we are ready to ink it up. So again, I've got my Secret C ink, and we can, again, I call it risk-free because I mean, I guess it's not 100%, but 99% you're guaranteed to get a good impression using a stamp positioner. And that way you don't have to be so nervous about stamping right onto your layout, especially when you're at the very end of it, right? Because they can be a little bit tricky to camouflage a mistake. So I went ahead and used my Avery clear sticker paper that I ordered from Amazon to print out my journaling. And I used a text box and measured the inside of that so it would fit. And then I just talked about the cabins and how we hiked, and I put the date on there. You can see it just virtually disappears and looks like you printed it right on the journaling card and allows that background detail and pattern to show through. I love that. So I went back to the sticker sheet and pulled this compass. They've used the brown one on this layout, but I want the cloud cover. So we've got this little arrow too, and that just happens to fit in that spot. And then I was thinking of bringing in my compass, seeing if we can work it into this area. And what if we brought this down? I don't need that arrow, but it's kind of like, yeah, let's use it. So I finished it off with a sticker from the sticker sheet that says walk, and I'll hold that up here in just a moment. And then I'm adding a few pecan pie little dots to each of my clusters. And I'm going to add one more thing up in the upper left-hand corner around the pine cones. I feel like it just needs a little something. So I've got a plan for that. So stay tuned for just a moment. The name of these little dot embellishments have escaped me, but I will leave them listed in the description box below. We're going to add just a few of the pecan pie dots over here. Now, for a background, when I'm feeling like it needs a little something, one of my go-tos is splatter. So this is crumb cake ink, and that is the Swirled Designs stamp. There's a really nice little splatter stamp on there, and it just adds a little something something to a space that feels a little bit empty. So you know what, I think I'm trying to get this really tight. I need a smaller block. So I swap that out for a very small block. It's kind of hanging over, but that way I can get it in tight to the corner, because I want it to look like it's coming from underneath the photo. And then we want to repeat that on the other side. We don't have a lot of room, so we're going to put some right there, and possibly the lower, maybe this. We got a little, no, I think let's just stop while we're ahead. Let's bring the workshop back in and we can look at them side by side to see how I adapted this to work for my photos and gave it kind of a makeover. So here's the layout, and they put their title page on the right hand side. So I switched it, and you can see the papers on the background are obviously very different here. I went with the cloud cover and then used a different paper for my piece across the bottom there. Let me flip to the back so you can see it a little bit larger. And I kept my grouping of 3 the same. So the footprint's the same. I've got the photo here, another photo here, and instead of the journaling, I put a 3x4 photo, adding another picture, and then moved my embellishment cluster to this area here because I needed more room. Otherwise, the title's similar. I just embellished this a bit more. And then on my right-hand page, so I switched this up a lot. Again, the paper layers are different. I took this element, I kept the pines, and then just completely overhauled the photos to make it work for me. And then used many of the same elements, but of course brought in a few things from my stash to make it my own. Let me hold this up so you can see that background stamping detail around this cluster here. I think that paper is just so pretty. And then again, a closer look at that Avery clear sticker paper. Love that stuff. There's our little stamped sentiment there, and the walk sticker I put to finish off that cluster down below. Again, everything is listed in the description box below, and I hope this was inspiring so you can see alternative ways to use these workshops. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you very soon here on YouTube.